Welcome to Drawfee, where we take dumb ideas
and make even dumber drawings.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Tristanius.
Oh,
I'm Julius Caesar.
nice.
I'm just Jacob.
Just
Oh.
Jacob.
Ah,
We're finally doing it.
Finally.
Appearing Threatening has been appearing in the comment section for quite a while, asking us to draw mythical gods from mythology that we've never seen based on their name and lore. We've got Tristan here.
It's me.
the lore librarian himself.
Oh.
Or at least the
Whoa,
cousin to
whoa.
the lore librarian.
Whoa,
The
we
lore-
are
the-
two different entities.
The lore librarian's herald, I would. You're
yeah,
sort of the Silver
think of,
Surfer
like-
to the lore librarian's Galactus.
I would say more like Donald Blake to lore librarian's Thor, but you know.
It is
whatever.
ironic that y'all are getting the lore of the lore librarian wrong.
we're doing it.
Yeah.
Someone, I guess the librarian's not here, so we'll have to.
We'll have to settle with Tristan.
We'll have to-
Wow. Wow. I mean, I didn't think I should summon him for
No,
this.
it's fine. It's fine. Let's just
Okay.
go.
What's more
No.
lore filled than mythology?
Okay.
War-
Fine.
There he is.
I have awoken from Odin's sleep.
There it is. We just have to shame Tristan for a little while. Just berate him and insult
That
him.
is his weakness.
Yep.
Of which I have none.
Now we're doing an episode.
Now-
Let's
now-
go.
now
It's
we're
an
in it.
episode!
Give me a yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
your trial,
Oh yeah.
your labors
Oh yeah, that's
shall be that of Greek gods and goddesses.
Oh, boy.
Nathan,
yeah.
your god, HYPNOS, god of sleep.
HYPNOS.
HYPNOS, not to be confused with Hypno, the Pokemon.
So I'm not drawing Hypno the
You're
Pokemon from memory.
I would,
I know you want to, but
I would
I forbid
prefer-
it.
yeah,
Okay.
I would
I mean-
prefer you did not.
Okay.
I know they take a lot of inspiration from
Mythology.
stuff.
Sure.
I don't know
Well-
much about Pokemon.
Well, we know that the drowsy Hypno is from the that one Pokemon, Baku. It was called Baku.
Baku.
It was called Baku. That was in a Mike Trap episode
Mhm.
that we did. Tell me about this sleepy god.
The thing is, he apparently lives in the underworld. Depending on like which version you read, because there's a lot of different versions of a lot of these different tales. He lives like in between night and day. He lives
Oh,
in
that sucks.
he lives in a lovely grotto with a bunch of plants that like put you to sleep like immediately.
That's rad.
That's kind of nice, actually.
Or some people say he lives on his own dream island or dream cave.
You think he's got any 420 plants in that grotto? You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
You think he's got any of those that
I am
wacky
sure
weed?
he has 420 plants at least.
yeah. I think his sundial
Is that what
probably
you're asking?
reads.
Jacob?
So I'm just drawing like a sleepy guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I know that like Greek gods, they had beards, right?
Yeah, they were a big fan of the chin strap
Yeah.
look.
They like
I mean,
beards.
he's probably not awake enough to shave. So you're probably right.
Okay, so
Maybe he's just got a hella long beard. Do you think that his beard is so long that he uses it as a blanket?
I do
think-
now.
I think that. I definitely think
I
that.
do now, Julia.
How could I think anything else?
It's a beautiful thing.
Like his like body's just popping out of this beard,
Yeah.
and you know he's just nude as hell under there.
Doesn't matter what I wear. You
He's
can't
like
see it.
he's a very sleepy Bayonetta.
He's got a grotto with some plants.
Does he have any big claims to fame?
Yeah, any
Well, he doesn't
myths
have any like
that he
too
shows
many
up in?
too many tales, but and according to one version of the story, he sleeps with his eyes open so he can fully admire his face.
Is he looking in a mirror?
I
Narcissus?
mean, heart.
Is he a Narcissus?
Narcissus? No, he is not.
Aww.
Do you think he's just like he's looking at his own face and just going, "Who's that good sleepy boy? You are. You're a good sleepy boy." Oh, he's so sleepy, isn't
Oh,
I know
just
that-
woke up like this.
he? Just existed in the state between sleeping and
Yeah.
wakefulness like this.
They caught me sleeping.
They caught me in the realm between night and day. So why does he look at himself? Do you have any lore on that?
There's like a half a sentence, and it's literally just like,
You know, he's a
likes his
narcissistic. He's vain. He's a god.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you gonna do if you're a god?
Mm-hmm.
Other than look at your face and guzzle ambrosia. Lots of ambrosia.
Yeah. This is kind of like a weird passage. This is from the wiki. He is said to be a calm and gentle god as he helps humans in need and, due to their sleep, owns half their lives.
Oh.
Dope.
So when you sleep, that is the time in which you are in
owns
his
you.
domain.
It's his-
He owns
yeah.
you.
Can we just acknowledge that he kind of has like the life, right? He
Yeah.
kind of just he sleeps whenever the hell he wants.
Yep.
Which is basically all the time.
Goals.
He's not really in any sort of time because he's in between day and night, right? That's what
Yeah.
he
Also
said.
goals.
Yeah.
Also goals. He's just like sleeping amongst a bunch of plants.
He's in his little special grotto.
He's in a special little private grotto where
Mhm.
no one can bother him while he's asleep.
He's also got he's practicing radical self-love.
Yeah.
He's looking in the mirror. He's
Yeah,
saying,
this
you're
is
killing
self-care.
it today. This is self-care.
He's goals.
Imagine, I think every single day for him is a self-care day.
It's a self-care day. He's done nothing but self-care his whole life.
Staring in the mirror while asleep.
With your eyes
Self-care.
open.
Self-care, right there. Yeah. Apparently his grotto is also soundproof.
Oh, cool.
Like,
You think
so
he has
all-
So he can
everything
get into
else just
some. He can get into some weird stuff in there if he wants.
Yeah.
No one's gonna.
Sounds well. Yeah, I think he's just so he can sleep.
Do you
anyone who
think-
comes in falls asleep because of the plants.
Yeah.
Do you think that he listens to Soundgarden in there?
Wow.
No
Julie's,
sound.
Julie's doing my job this episode.
It's because you're busy drawing. I felt
I
like
appreciate
the mantle
it,
needed
yeah.
to be taken up.
It didn't need to be. You could have given me the freedom.
No. One of us has got to be the Nathan, and right now I'm the Nathan.
It's Julia. Julia, you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Nathan.
I like that one a lot.
Thank you.
Soundgarden,
Do you
classic.
think he listens to the stoner metal band from the 90s called Sleep?
No.
That's one for all you Sleep fans out there.
You know a joke is good when you have to explain
Get
the
at
entire
me.
context.
Get at me in the
beforehand.
comments. I like to make a joke that one person will really appreciate. And they'll be like, whoa, cool.
You
I
didn't
love
have-
Sleep.
Well, I already knew it was a stoner metal band from the 90s, so you didn't have to say that, but I guess it's pretty good.
Do you think that there's like a counter god that's just wakefulness, but he listens to Savage Garden?
The thing is, like, every other god is awake.
Yeah,
You know
every
what I
other
mean?
god
There's
is
like one
awake.
sleep god.
I just wanted to see the look of disappointment on Jacob's face. I got the slow head shake
You got what you
of
wanted.
disappointment.
You
Yeah.
got what you came here for.
Thank you.
All right.
Nathan, you did fantastico.
This is my sleepy prince.
I love him.
I worship him.
My god is an awesome god. He sleeps.
Let me look him up.
That's just a sleeping man. I don't think that's him.
Is this just a sleepy boy?
I mean, here's the deal. A lot
he
of
just
gods just
asleep?
look like men.
He's just a sleepy. Oh, okay, we got like a statue. He's got like a wing face.
He does have a wing face in that one. I don't know what the deal is. Apparently, he's got a wing on his face. Why? Does he like cover his face with it and go to sleep?
Oh my god, I would love that.
Nathan, I much prefer your vision, which is like the eighth dwarf in the seven dwarves.
Yeah, just extra sleepy because there
Yeah.
is already a sleepy, right?
Yeah.
Sleepy and sleepier. Sleepiest.
Sleepiest has never been seen.
Yeah. Nathan, great job.
Thank you, Jacob. Do you want to draw a god?
Yeah.
Jacob, since you summoned me from
Great.
my slumber,
I wish I hadn't.
I shall strike you with the hardest labor yet.
No.
Doris, the sea nymph.
Doris.
Doris?
Doris!
Doris.
I'm
It
the
is-
sea nymph!
Honey, I got some sea nymphs coming over for dinner. Doris and the girls.
Pop in some lean cuisines into the microwave. The ladies are coming over.
The ladies are coming over. You can have guy time if you want. Just know I've got the house
Go
because
to your man
Doris.
grotto.
Go hang out with HYPNOS in his grotto if you want to, because Doris is coming over.
Tristan, you got any info for me?
I mean, this was the exact response I was looking for. So you've completed all of that so
Great.
far. So she's Doris is a sea nymph. She's one She's an Oceanid, which is like one of 3,000 daughters of the sea.
No, God.
I got a lot of siblings.
Christmas is bonkers.
I grew up in a big family.
Does that mean she's a daughter of Poseidon? Is he the sea, or is
no,
there a different?
I think she's a daughter of Oceanus.
Oh, okay, got it. They sort of doubled up on a lot of.
The ocean is vast.
Yeah,
And
that's
full
the
of
thing. It's like
terrors.
she's maybe not technically a goddess, but she is associated with like the bounty of the sea.
Gotcha.
So she would help you out, like if you want a good fishing trip or something, maybe.
And what distinguishes Doris from her many siblings?
Well, besides the what I just said just now about her being associated with the bounty of the sea.
Okay, so the other siblings are not associated.
No,
with the
no,
bounty.
no,
They don't offer you the bounty of the
She
sea.
is-
the way Doris
She's
does.
bounteous. I didn't know. Okay,
Where do you think they buy their paper towels down there?
Julia, you're crushing it.
Wow.
Yeah, what about the Charmin of the sea?
I'm so mad at you guys today.
I'm having
I brought Brawny.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal with Doris, though, is that she I'm gonna ignore this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
ignore
going.
this.
You're doing the right thing.
Doris is related to like everyone.
Whoa.
She's everyone's aunt.
She is an aunt to let's see, she is an aunt to, I want to say it's Atlas. She's an
Okay.
aunt to Atlas. She's a grandmother to Achilles.
Oh.
Wow.
So and she also had 50 children herself.
Let me tell you about my grandson. He's so strong.
He's so strong. Don't tell anyone, but he's real weak in the heel.
Does that mean her daughter is Thetis?
Yeah.
That's Achilles' mom. Reading a book about Achilles right now.
How do you all know about this? Juliet name dropped Narcissus earlier.
Well, Greek mythology is like one of those courses that you take. I feel like for me it was like 6th grade.
Yeah.
That's like right the age in school, right before I stopped caring.
Yeah.
So I found it interesting. I thought the Greek myths were interesting.
They're like the coolest...
Whatever mythology they had taught me at that point, I would have found interesting probably, but it happened to be Greek.
Yeah, they're like the coolest thing that you like are technically allowed to learn.
Yeah,
like as like educational. There's still like a lot of stories where people's heads get chopped off and like like bonkers shit happens to people.
Yeah,
but
it's
like
wild.
It's pretty close to anime.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
it's really close to anime.
It's like Game of Thrones that people really believe. Like, but also, in my brief attempt to stay in the zeitgeist of pop culture, which, as we all know, did not last very long, I read all of the Percy Jackson series.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting place to choose to stay in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
It was in high school or college.
It was a dark time.
It
Yeah.
was. I
Made some
just tried to
mistakes.
read every popular book that was out there, and that was one of the series.
Well,
Nice.
So
Also, Achilles is the rider of red in Fate Apocrypha, which I am currently watching.
how's that going for you?
It's fine. We don't need to talk about Fate Apocrypha. I'm sorry I brought it up.
I was gonna talk about the new Assassin's Creed. I've been playing that, and that's all.
Oh, Achilles
Ooh.
in there too?
I don't think Achilles is, but a lot of other Greek
Odysseus?
figures.
Is Odysseus in there?
No,
Wow.
not that I know of.
Okay.
But it's
What about Doris?
Is Doris in there?
Yes,
Doris show up?
absolutely.
She sits in a recliner, right?
Sure.
I love my
your
lazy
aunt,
boy.
She's your Aunt Doris, and she comes over. She's got a chair that she likes to sit in.
Oh, is she the lady who got kicked out of Walmart for drinking wine out of a Pringles can?
I got kicked out of Walmart.
Really?
I just wanted to go get my bounty at the Walmart, and they kicked me out. Don't they know who I am? Don't they know who my grandson is?
She definitely has a big wine glass.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
It's a chalice.
She comes
right
over
there.
and she always drinks a little too much, kind of embarrasses everyone. And it's
Oh.
like the family's always like, well, we have to invite Doris.
Have you seen this thing where it's a wine glass that has a full wine bottle shape at the bottom? So you just pour your wine into the glass, but you fill it up with an entire bottle of wine.
I have not seen that.
And then you just keep drinking it.
That seems like problems.
Yeah.
That does seem
Yeah.
like problems.
That also seems like a great way to like create more dishes. Just drink out of the wine
If
bottle.
you're gonna
drink out
That's
of the
true,
bottle.
actually.
But you get that pour. You have to get that pour to aerate it. If you're planning on chugging a whole bottle of wine, you really want to get those nice flavors.
Yeah, the subtle flavors
The
are what you're
notes.
going for when you chug a bottle of
The
wine.
various notes of earthiness.
Jacob,
that
I love
you
this
get.
hair you've drawn.
Yeah, I'm
This
trying to
little
give her
swirl.
aunt hair.
Yeah.
Ants always have like some sort of wacky hair
She's got a S
going on.
She's got a big bubble letter
and
S.
it's also kind of like ocean-y.
Oh, that means hope.
You know?
That was good.
And I think she's got like just old lady eyes. She's got squinty old lady
So
eyes. She's been having her wine.
Yeah.
So she's
That's her bounty.
She's getting tired in her chair.
She uses bounty to clean up all the wine stains.
Yeah, Aunt Doris.
Aunt Doris, this is the ocean's
The bounty
bounty.
of the sea. I'm known for, and like, this is the kind of thing where like she's always talking about it. She's like, I'm known for giving the bounty of the sea. And then her kids are like, when have you ever? I've never once seen you give the bounty of the sea.
And then she just ignores them and she's like, hold on, I've got photos. And
I've
she
got
pulls out her
photos.
wallet and it just unfolds like 3,000 photos.
This is the time I went to Thebes.
Or is it Thebes?
Is it Thebes? I don't know. I kept
don't know.
asking
I
people.
can't keep up. They didn't speak the language there. Yeah, so she's just kind of chilling here on the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like a shrimp cocktail.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
yeah.
But it is wine.
It is wine, yeah.
It's a shrimp cocktail.
It's a literal shrimp cocktail. This was before, it changed from wine into like tartar sauce or whatever.
Sure.
Cocktail sauce.
Cocktail sauce. That probably makes sense, doesn't it?
I know because I think it's gross because made of tomatoes.
Yeah, no
Just
thanks.
can't go a
Honestly,
single episode,
shrimp-
can you, Nathan, without mentioning tomatoes.
We get new subscribers all the time. I just want people to know my brand.
They got to know what's going on.
There was a viral tweet recently
I
that just destroyed me personally, and I mean they're not wrong.
I mean,
I am a small idiot child about
here's,
tomatoes.
Here's the deal. Tomatoes, what's going on there?
Bad textures.
Bad textures
They're-
in that tomato.
They're gloopy.
Are you a berry or are you a vegetable? You got to pick a side.
I want
tomatoes are good.
I
That's
want
a
to
centric-
bury the tomatoes so they never come back.
They're
Is it-
crucial to so many other dishes.
Is
the
it
thing.
is it a vegetable or is it a fruit? It's centrism. It's a centrist fruit. I'm not for it.
Well, fruit is a scientific term, and vegetable has more to do with usage
Really?
of the plant. Well, yeah, because a fruit is just any part of the plant that has
Okay,
seeds.
I see.
This
I
is
see.
thrilling conversation.
Yeah.
This is all a conversation that you're having with. Sorry, a fruit. See the difference
go,
between
here
a
we go.
tomato and a fruit and a vegetable. I learned this. I took a class. I took a
took
class
a
at the
course on
community
this.
college.
Get her mouth open.
I went back to get my degree.
Linda, and she didn't know, so I was just like, I'm going to tell
I
everyone.
was gonna tell Linda, so then I wanted to look it up because she was confused because we had an argument at Bridge Club.
I feel like I've seen this episode of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
before.
Nathan, your brand might be tweets at you about tomatoes. Mine is everyone recently tagging me about the Marie Kondo holding up a man to a crown and saying, does this man not spark joy? And the crowd yells, no! And then they sacrifice him. That's my brand.
Well, that's very close to something you drew recently.
It is true.
Yeah.
She didn't hold up the man. She just unsummoned him.
But I have
she
been getting
cast
that
the
tweet for like a
banishment
week.
spell.
This is Doris.
This
I'm
is
done.
Doris.
I don't know what else I could possibly
Doris is very
add to this.
good.
She's very bountiful.
She is very bountiful, and she
Ariel
will,
really let herself go.
She will offer you the bounty of the sea, but you will have to listen to a lot of stories. So I don't know if it's worth it. Accept at your own risk.
Look up Doris.
She's probably just gonna look like a dang old woman. Yeah, she's just a dang old woman. Is this her? Which one of these is her?
That looks like an oops too slow thing going on. Like, high five, oops,
Oops,
too slow.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like she's just a woman. What's in the ocean?
That's a lot of Greek gods and goddesses. It's just like, I don't know, they're like a human, I guess. They look like me.
They're just
That's
in the
what
ocean.
people are like. I think they probably look like my neighbor.
Yeah, like my neighbor Doris.
What if Doris
Who
was
won't
one of
shut
us?
My neighbor Doris is my favorite Ghibli movie.
All right, Julia, get in here.
Yeah.
Julia,
Yes.
your labor you may be familiar with,
Okay.
since you name-dropped Narcissus.
Is it Narcissus?
No, it's Nemesis, the goddess of retribution.
Oh shit!
Dope.
Nemesis.
I'm so tempted to draw the Resident Evil boss Nemesis.
You know,
You keep giving us
that's a-
video game characters.
I mean, go wherever your heart will take you.
I bet it's just gonna be a woman looking angry.
Probably.
I bet that's what the actual one is.
She goddess of retribution. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nemesis, basically just like, she's also called like the goddess of justice, depending on like where you look. She just wanted to make sure people weren't getting too uppity. They didn't like themselves too much. They were having too good a time. Like Narcissus, as Julia mentioned, we haven't told the story, but
Is it Eus or is it just Narcissus?
Could be.
I learned it as Narcissus, but you're the lore librarian.
You're right. I think I corrected Julia earlier, and then I was wrong.
You did a wrong correction.
Wow.
A classic wrong
I
correction.
wanted to get in there before the comments.
Dude, Nemesis is gonna come for you, Tristan.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
You are owed some retribution
I was
now.
filled with hubris.
Yeah, you were.
And I mansplained to Julia, and I was completely wrong instantly. Okay, well, I'll talk to Nemesis about this later. Work something out. So Narcissus was a like very beautiful man who like really loved like looking at himself. Kind of a real HYPNOS.
A real HYPNOS.
But he was awake.
Yeah.
And what he liked to do was instead like just like kind of look at himself instead of like caring about all the people around him. And Nemesis looks at that and goes, no, mm-mm. So Nemesis basically convinced or like manipulated him into looking at his reflection in the water, and he looked at it so long that he died.
Oh.
So Nemesis just came over and was like, hey, check this out.
Yep.
Nemesis just canceled him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag Narcissus is over party.
Yeah.
Now, Tristan, I used to be into the video game Smite,
Yep.
which features a lot of gods and goddesses.
Sure.
Now, Nemesis in that game did have a very big sword.
Uh-huh.
Is that part of her character in real life? Or is that just for the game, they just tossed her a giant sword?
From what I could tell, that could just be a part of the game. But the thing is, like, there's been a lot of, more than I think the other people we talked about today, there's a lot of art of Nemesis. So some of the interpretations could, have the sword representing justice or retribution.
Okay, so you can do a pro-sword version or an anti-sword version.
Yeah.
Nemesis sword form.
Nemesis, yeah, she's got multiple forms.
Yeah, depending on what you're into.
Because she definitely has the name of a final boss in a JRPG, so she would have multiple
She's
forms.
the name of the boss in Resident Evil.
Well, also that.
And Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
And also, did anybody ever play for the Nintendo GameCube Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects?
No.
Nope.
No.
It was a bad game.
I made the right call then.
Like, even for the GameCube, the graphics were pretty bad, but you could be Iron Man.
So you were excited about that.
I was excited about that.
Okay.
I always forget that, like, when you think about the word Nemesis, I'm always just thinking about it in its, like, current usage, but it does have that, like, Greek structure to it.
Yeah.
Like Narcissus, Nemesis. It, like, makes sense. I just never really considered it before. That's just me having a realization.
Yeah.
On my own.
Sometimes we do a learn on these episodes. It's been a little while since we've done a learn, but we're back.
We're here for it.
My brain hurts.
Go take a nap.
Is this what learning feels like?
Go visit HYPNOS. Take a nap.
Yeah.
Go recover.
It comes, it is derived from a Greek word, as you were saying, from the wiki. It says, meaning to give what is due, and then from the Proto-Indo-European, nem, to distribute.
Oh, so you're distributing what is due.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got what's due right here.
So it's like a lot of late fees, a lot of overdue.
A lot of restocking fees.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they call them now.
Okay, yeah. No late fees, just restocking fees.
Yep.
That's how they get around that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does
Restocking
Nemesis,
justice.
does she ever give what's due in a positive way, or is she strictly more on the giving what's due in the negative way side of things?
Most of the depictions that I saw were negative, quote unquote. I mean, punishing Narcissus was positive to other people, I think.
Yeah, because they were sick of his shit.
Yeah.
They were sick of his shit and were like, I hope he just stares at himself until he dies.
Yeah, that was like whispered in like the little houses and stuff in the neighborhood.
My favorite thing about Greek mythology is that, like, there's very little middle ground. Like, if you fuck up even a tiny bit and you're a human, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And you're gonna die in, like, oftentimes a brutal way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's that one guy who just, like, was a hunter and happened across some, like, water nymphs. Like
Doris was there too.
No, Doris is an ocean nymph. This was like a freshwater, like either a river or lake nymph.
Oh, sure.
She was twiddling her fingers in the background.
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah.
Just
Probably
like-
Blanche was there.
Just sort of by accident, like while he was out, and she splashes water on him and turns him into a deer. And so all of the dogs that he's hunting with just like tear him up.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you think the water nymph knew that was going to happen? Or was she just like, here's a fun trick? Uh-oh. Whoops.
It's just like, you don't get a second chance.
No. And he didn't even do anything wrong.
No.
He was doing his job.
He was just out. He was just out and about. There weren't any signs.
Boot in a boot.
I do love Greek mythology because there's also that one, because it's also like death is better than a few other things, according to Greek mythology. There was that one where Apollo wanted to marry that like forest nymph, and she was just like, no, I don't want that. So she begged Zeus to turn her into a tree. So she turned into a tree to escape him so she wouldn't have to marry Apollo. And then Apollo was just like, all right, I'll turn you into a bow. And just chopped her down and turned her into a bow for himself.
And then I'm going to marry that bow.
And then I'm going to marry that bow.
So when he chopped down the tree, did that kill her, or like she stayed alive in bow form?
I don't know, my dude. I didn't ask her. Seemed rude.
Is the bow a weapon I can get in God of War? Is
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
A bow that screams like a woman, like a forest nymph
Ugh.
when you shoot it.
Ugh.
Ow!
God, this
Every
sucks.
time.
Zeus, fix this. No, you only get one. You only get one ass.
Only get one favor.
And wasn't there one? There was the guy who like wished to be immortal but not like forever youthful, and so he kept growing. He kept aging, and then eventually turned into a cricket.
Is that what happens if you age too much?
According to Greek mythology.
That's definitely some Franz Kafka shit, right?
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
She's got a lot going on.
Oh,
here.
she got a snake.
She's got a sword. She's got a snake.
Well, because I feel like, not everything can be solved with a giant sword.
Sometimes you need a snake.
Sometimes you need a snake.
Sometimes you need a snake. Julia 2019. Sometimes you need a
Sometimes your
snake.
problems can be solved by a snake.
Sometimes if you want to enact justice retribution,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you're going to need a big old snake.
Mhm.
I'll tell you
a
right
big
now
old
that
snake that's also your chair.
in the game Smite, she could definitely solve all her problems with that big sword, and
Mhm.
often did. And usually the problem was killing me on the opposing team.
Sure,
And she did
sure.
solve that with the sword
Uh-huh.
every time. 10 out of
Okay.
10 times.
Okay.
I'm just
Uh,
glad that we really get to talk about how much of gamers we are on this
Gamers.
episode.
I don't think we get to prove that enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that people worry that maybe we aren't gamers.
Maybe we aren't gamers. Maybe we don't talk about games enough on these episodes that aren't explicitly about games.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
And I think people also worry that we don't like anime.
yeah.
Mhm.
So we should bring up some anime.
We
already
always
did.
Yeah, we're trying
We
to
should bring up some more
assuage.
anime.
Do you want me to go back to talking about Fate Apocrypha?
I
really
really
don't want you
don't.
to.
See, in normal Holy Grail War, there
No.
are 7
Oh.
mages,
No.
and it's sort of a free for all. But
No.
in a great Holy Grail War,
Julia, is this another sword? Does she have another
There-
sword?
Oh, that's an even bigger sword.
Sometimes you need a big sword. Sometimes you need a tiny sword.
sometimes you need multiple
Sometimes
snakes.
you need a couple snakes.
That's like a Buster sword right there.
Yeah,
You just got into the design zone now. And
I
now
really
this is
did.
just dope.
this is cool.
I really
A
got
I
into
love-
the design
I
zone.
love this expression she's making too.
Yeah.
She's like, whatever. Is she
Wow.
wearing sweatpants?
She's wearing a romp.
Okay.
She's wearing a little romper.
really
She's wearing a
low cut.
romper.
Really low cut romper. Well,
Yeah,
she,
deep
it's her
V.
day off. She's just enjoying.
You,
she's
never,
enjoying
you don't
the day.
get a day
Styling.
off from being the goddess of retribution.
Well, she was trying to have a day off, and then she ran into some asshole who wouldn't stop looking at himself, and she was like, "This has got to stop."
So she arose in her serpent throne and said, "Hey, look in this water."
Hey, look in this water.
Hey, dipshit! Look at this water.
There's a pretty good view of you in this water.
What else could she be using?
I mean, this looks like sort of a modern interpretation of her with the romper.
Yeah.
So
You can't tell me that they had togas but not rompers.
I can't tell you that.
I think we could tell you that.
No, you can't tell me that.
Why
You can't tell me
not?
that a
I don't think
toga is not another name for a romper.
I don't. I think the pant leg.
You can't.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I think
those
no,
those
it's
individual
impossible. No,
Yeah.
that
no.
the
No.
pant technology.
You guys don't know.
they were
ladies'
just sort of
fashions like I
everybody
do.
wore
That's
skirts.
true. I
Yeah,
don't
even
know
the
anything
guys
about
wore
fashion.
tunics.
So
Or just went around naked. They did that a lot.
That's true. Are there any like big stories other than Narcissus?
I was
or...
looking for those, and I'm sure there are, but in the time that I had to look at, pretty much every source quoted Narcissus' story, and not too much else. At this point.
I'm remembering that the Greeks love to use a lot of birds to peck people to death. So
So she has snakes and birds?
Snakes and birds.
She's got flipping everything. She can do whatever she wants. Look at her.
You're very supportive of her, and I like that.
It's 2019.
It's, well,
They either use birds
not at
to
this time.
peck people to death, or they would turn into birds to fuck.
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, maybe the gods knew something we didn't? Like, that bird fucking is the most satisfying of all?
They got the corkscrew dicks.
And I think that the gods knew that, and they were able to, like, really hone in on that.
I don't want to entertain this idea because the comments are just going to go buck wild.
They're going to do that anyways.
That's true. I think I'm done.
This is good. Look her up. Oh, she got wings.
She's a winged woman.
Mhm.
She's a winged woman. What's she holding in that first picture?
Isn't it like a little
It's an hourglass?
Hourglass, yeah.
Oh. It
Time's
looked like
up.
she won the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory ticket thing. She was
Sure.
holding it up. She's like, I get to go to the Wonka factory.
It's like when you take
Try and take it.
when you take too long in a board game.
Yeah.
She shows up. She flips the hourglass over.
That's justice.
TikTok, motherfucker.
Great.
Good. Well, yeah. Let us know if you like this episode. If you want us to do more characters from Greek mythology or other mythologies.
Yeah. Tell us what other mythologies I'd like to see. I know that another big one, Norse mythology, was featured on Dropout. Is that right, Nathan?
Yeah, we did a knockoff Norse gods episode with Jacob was on that episode.
I was there. It's true.
It's a cartoon hell.
It's a cartoon hell. So if you're interested in watching cartoon hell, sign up for Dropout. You can watch the full episodes, and boy, oh boy, we got a lot on there now. It's like Drawfee, but with more stuff happens. There's animation.
Drawfee plus budget
I've
equal
heard
cartoon hell.
I've heard it called Drawfee with plot.
There's a little
Yeah.
bit of a plot. We try and we've got a setting and we sort of play around with that. I think it's fun. I think if you like Drawfee, you'll like Cartoon Hell. And there are also comics on there. The Ladies Book Club comic that Jacob and Julia wrote along with Tony Wilson. And Jacob, you wrote a comic called Dead Kids with Tony as well.
Yeah, there's some issues of that on there.
There's some issues there, and there's also just other good shows like Fantasy High. I think anyone could get into.
WTF 101.
WTF 101. It's a good time. Check it out.
Go
It's
watch.
the best way to support Drawfee directly, and it's available internationally. So get in there. Subscribe to Drawfee. Hit the bell. We're sorry.
We're sorry.
Sorry.
I have no shame, therefore am not sorry.
Nemesis is coming for you.
Okay.